See, it's another beautiful morning. Another beautiful morning. Today I want to share some key points. Some things that I took away from last night's live. Reacting to small YouTuber's first YouTube video. A new, uh, a new show I started on my channel. Um, so the purpose of that stream, of course, was to help people grow and stay motivated and to push forward in life, which kind of transitions into this morning live where it's going to be talking about similar things, right? There were 3 points. 3 points. If you don't know, I'm Winston, and thank you for being here. Make sure you like, share, and comment on this video, on this live. Stay interactive because we got some talking to do. And if you're watching this on replay, make sure you comment on this video and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate you. So there were 3 things about last night's show um, that I noticed, things that I've done for myself and things that I saw in people's videos that they was doing too. Um, the 3 things were being yourself, which is extremely important, researching and understanding that starting over is not failure. Starting over is redirection. Those are the 3 things that we're gonna get into today. As soon as I'm done crossing this street, I gotta pay attention to the road. I don't want to get hit. Give me a second. And it's loud over here. All right. So let's get into it. It's my personal belief, my personal understanding from my experience that being yourself gets you way more farther in life. Being yourself will put you exactly where you want to be. If you look around right now in the world, it's full of people trying to be individuals, trying to be different, you know, trying to do things that stand out. But if you really pay attention, everybody trying to be different look exactly the same. Everybody trying to stand out look exactly the same. They doing exactly the same stuff. True power, true growth, true development starts with you being yourself, being who you are, not trying to be different, not trying to stand out. If you yourself, you're gonna stand out. If you yourself, you're gonna be different. But if you try, you're gonna look just like everybody else. One of the channels that I reviewed last night, it was a woman named Sarah. And Sarah had, I think it was Sarah, she dropped 2 videos on YouTube and already had 90 subscribers. And so when I'm reviewing her channel, I'm thinking, dang, she dropped 2 videos and got 90 subscribers. Like, what's going on? What's going on? So I'm reviewing the channel. I'm looking at the thumbnails. I'm looking at the banners. I'm looking at her description for her channel, what her channel gonna be about, so on and so forth. And then I watch her video and it clicks. Her introduction, her outro, her thumbnails, her banner, it was all like super girly. And then when she was talking, everything was super girly, right? And so that let me know that throughout her video, even with her imprints, right, she put her personality into all of it. So it showed in her videos, it showed in her thumbnails, it showed in her content, the work that she was putting out. What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing in the chat? Good morning. Good morning. Her personality showed in those 2 videos that she had. That's why she had 90 subscribers already. That's why one of her videos had over 100 views in less than 20 hours. Because she was being herself. Even throughout the video, she was explaining how she was a grocery TikToker. Now, I've seen grocery TikTokers before, but not like her. Because hers was actually about her experience, why she was buying this, why she looked at that, what she found attractive about it, so on and so forth. Being yourself, right? Being your true self, being your true authentic self. That's what builds trust. That's what builds genuine connection. Being your true, authentic self, again, is how you gonna get further. Take a moment for those of y'all watching right now. Take a moment, look at your life. What's one way that you can embrace being your authentic self? I want people to think about that. I want you to think about that. I'm thinking about it right now. What's one way that you can embrace being your authentic self today? Let me know. Because I want to hear. I know one way I can embrace, you know what I'm going to say. One way I embrace being my authentic self is this walk. Is this walk. It's me waking up creating every day. It don't matter what the creation is. Me just using my creative ability. That's how I become my authentic self. That's how I'm my authentic self every day. How are you your authentic self? The next point I wanted to get into, something that I realized. Bro, are you from Ukraine? Nah, George, I'm not. I'm from the US. I live in Texas, the great state of Texas. Big food, thick women, a lot of land. Uh, where y'all coming from? Everybody that's watching. George, you in UK? The next point that I want to get into from last night's show is about research. Research, applying that research, and then leveling up. Research, applying that research, and then leveling up. If you think you know what I'm talking about, hit the like button real quick. So the best way that I'm seeing to grow, that I'm learning on how to grow, the best way to do it is to learn from others, is to research what it is or the area that you're trying to grow in. You gotta research it. You gotta put in the time, the effort, and the work to go learn about these things. And it don't matter where the medium from. It can be from a 5-year-old child to a 90-year-old woman. It don't matter what the medium is, but you got to go learn and research about the things that you're interested in. George said, "Are you a gangster?" You got to be from the UK. No, I'm not a gangster. I think a gangster is the weakest thing on God's green earth. I'm a man. I'm a grown man. Not a gangster. Never have been, never will be. Gangster is the dumbest thing on earth. Uh, but back to the point. The best way to grow is by learning from others, right? Perfect example. A basketball player doesn't get good at basketball in one day. A football player doesn't get great at football in one day. An artist doesn't get good at drawing in one day. They take time and study the craft. Who's the greatest at that craft right now? You want to build clothes, right? You want to start a clothing line, right? What's the biggest street clothing line out there right now that you can watch, that you can study, that you can learn from? You want to be a nurse, right? That's what you want to do. How many nurses have you interacted with? How many nurses have you talked to? I know some of y'all probably watch doctor shows, but how much effort have you really put into researching what it is that you want to do? Do you even research what you want to do? I remember before me starting this YouTube channel, I was looking up YouTube channels for about 5 years. 5 years of studying, watching other people's videos, too scared to start my own. Way too scared to start my own. So I was stuck in analysis paralysis, meaning all I was doing was studying, but I wasn't taking nothing that I was studying and applying it to what it is that I said I want to do. So am I being my authentic self? Hell no. Am I applying what I'm researching? Hell no. Am I becoming better? No, because I'm stuck. You can't spend your time researching and not applying. Because if you don't, you never making it to the trial and error part. You can never get better because you're not trying shit, failing, and then trying it again. And then failing and then trying it again. Success doesn't make successful people. Failure makes successful people. going to say that one more time. And if you feel what I'm saying, hit the like button. Success doesn't make successful people. Failure makes successful people. If you talk to some millionaires, if you talk to anybody doing something that you want to do, I guarantee you they're going to tell you they failed. They failed a bunch of times and failed again and failed again and failed again, but they kept going. They kept going. They kept persisting. They kept trying. They kept believing. And next thing you know, they had what it was that they was looking for. They had exactly what they needed or what they wanted to get where they at right now. You gotta fail. You gotta research. You gotta apply, and you gotta fail. Let's read these comments. John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. Jesus loves you. I love it. Thank you for the words this morning. I'm pretty sure the chat appreciated it too. Thank you. Never take advice from someone doing less than you. Oh no, you didn't. I'm not even gonna, I can't agree with that one. I can't agree with that one. Perfect example. Let me give you a small example of why I don't agree with that. Never take advice from someone that's doing less than you. Just because somebody looks like they're doing less than you, that don't mean that they're doing worse than you. They can look like they're doing less than you and be doing way better than you. So you gotta be careful with your words on that point. You can learn from anybody. You can learn from anybody. We learn from children every day. Children tell the truth. A child will tell you fat in a second. But you ain't know you was fat. You ain't think you was fat. But that child told you was fat. You look at yourself, damn, I am fat. Oh, you can learn from anybody. I don't know who Terry is, but Terry, you got to go, my boy. What the fuck is that? Terry got to go. So the second point was the message was to research, apply, and fail. Which brings me to the third point of my message. You said you wouldn't take advice from a child. I feel you. Some people wouldn't. Depending on what's being said and the circumstance, I would. Depending on the circumstance. But all that leads to, again, my third message, which is starting over is not failing. Failing is not even failing. Starting over and failing is redirection. Redirection. You see how I turn? Starting over and failing is redirection. What do I mean by that? What does that mean? Starting over does not mean that you failed. Starting over does not mean that you did something wrong. Starting over means that something in your plan didn't go the way you thought it was going to go. So that means you need to go back to the drawing board, reorganize and restructure that plan, and start again tomorrow. Tomorrow might be that day. Tomorrow might be when that take off. Tomorrow just might be the sunrise to your blessed day, right? So one of the YouTubers that I was watching last night, reviewing his channel, he said in his video, I've started so many YouTubes. I've started over so many times. And I had to press pause on that and I took some notes. And I was thinking about his video when I was watching it because you could tell, well, I could tell that he had started over YouTube a bunch of times. How did I know? When he came on, when he started his video, he started with a bunch of energy. I'm talking about boy was hype. You would have thought he was on like 4 bags of sugar. And he kept that energy the entire video. The entire video. His introduction hook was crazy. My boy popped up on the screen in the first 2 seconds. Viral, Igga. I'm like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. It was some shock value. It was a whole bunch of shock value. As soon as he said it, I'm tuned in. But I already know anybody starting a YouTube, right? Adding shock value to your video in the first couple seconds, that's something that you learn over time. That's something that you practice. That's not something that you just do out of nowhere. And then he went to his introduction. And then he went to explaining his story. Like, this was a well thought out program. This is a well thought out video. And I was thinking to myself, and he kept the whole energy. I was thinking to myself, he didn't plan. I mean, he planned this. He knew exactly what he was doing. You could tell he worked on this like radio show persona. He worked on that. He created that. And then he said the statement, I started so many YouTube channels, but this gonna be the one that get 1 million subscribers and 1 million views. I said, what? I said, what? And then after he said that, I'm thinking about my own story. I've restarted a YouTube channel 4 or 5 times now within the last 4 or 5 years. I couldn't find out what I wanted to do. I couldn't find out what I wanted to talk about. I couldn't find out how to make a video to get views for nothing. And then all of a sudden, the past month and a half, I said, let me try again. And I tried again. And I ended up with Iron Winston TV. So now they tell you to niche down. Fuck, what the fuck is niching down? I'm not niching down for nothing. I have Iron Winston TV, a TV channel. I failed so many times at YouTube because I didn't know what I want to do. Now I know exactly what I want to do. I want a TV station. I had to fail to know that though. Iron Winston TV is a TV station. I want a caveat of shows. I don't want just one show. Don't tell me to niche down. When I was trying to niche down, I wasn't getting nothing complete. I wasn't getting nothing successful. None of us, nobody here is one thing. You 100 things to 100 different people. If you ask 100 people who you are, you're going to get a different answer from every person. Failure is redirection. Failing is redirection. Ain't nothing wrong with starting over. Ain't nothing wrong with going back to the drawing board saying, I have to refigure this out. I have to do something different. I have to tweak my approach. I have to change my mindset on how I see stuff. My boy said, this is going to be the channel. This is going to be the channel that gets me 1 million subscribers, 1 million views. He got faith. He believed in himself. And he started over a dozen times. Let me ask y'all a question. If something didn't work out for you recently, do you see it as the end or do you see it as a new beginning? If something didn't work out for you recently, did you see it as the end or did you see it as a beginning? I think that's a super simple question. If something didn't work out for you recently, do you see it as an end or do you see it as a beginning? If you see it as an end, okay, wrap it up. Wrap it up. I ain't seeing nothing that ends in my life as an end. It's not an end. Not in my vision, not in my eyes. I see it as a way to start over. I see it as a way to gain something new, to do something different. I see I see it as another way, another chance to start over every day. Every sunrise, every single sunrise is a chance to start over. Every sunrise, I'm focused on being myself. I'm focused on researching and applying what I researched. And I know that failure is not failure, it's redirection. What y'all working on today? Those are the words that I have today, the motivational words that I have today. If you hear and you felt something about this message that I said, leave a like, hit the like button. And then in the comments, let me know. Because I'm still waiting on some of y'all to answer the question. What's something that you failed at recently? And do you see it as an end or do you see it as a new beginning? I'm trying to cross the street right now. Let me read these comments. King says practice makes perfect. No, practice don't make perfect. I don't believe that. Practice makes progress, brother. Practice makes progress. Practice gets you closer to what it is that you want to do. Practice don't make perfect. Practice makes progress. Remember that shit. And then King also said, bro, he said, bro, you failed if you have to restart. See, that's why I say you got to change your mindset. You got to change the way that you see something. If you have to restart, it doesn't mean you failed. It just means you haven't got it right yet. Change your outlook. I'm a glass half full, not a glass half empty type of person. I'm gonna always try to find the positive. I'm gonna always try to find the upside. Ain't no try. I'm gonna always find the positive. I'm always gonna see the upside. Buddy said you look like a character from a Holic from Scary Story. You must be from overseas or something. Hey, look, man, that's my time. For everybody who stopped by to watch this video, I appreciate y'all. Thank you. I appreciate y'all for taking the time to hear these words this morning. I do these motivational lives every Tuesday and every Monday. Well, really, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning. If ever you want to stop by, just kick it, hang it, talk motivational talk. You can check in on my live at 7:20 a.m. in the morning. Make sure y'all like this video. Share this video once it posts. Because these words not just for you. Remember, we got to be blessings to everybody around us. We have to be blessings to everybody around us. Our gifts are not our own. What we do is not for us. Our gifts are for other people. I appreciate you for subscribing. Thank you, Bitter. Thank you. Our gifts are for somebody else. So go be a blessing for somebody else today. He said he don't want competition. Absolutely, man. Hey, man, you're going to have competition with everything you do. To somebody else. I'll catch y'all next time.